just need to expand it. Now, initially, I thought I was going to use all of this blackstone and build myself a nice little resort on our beach. You know, because everyone seems to be wanting to use deep slate nowadays, and they seem to forget about blackstone. You know, I think blackstone looks a lot better than deep slate, but of course you can get deep slate a lot faster and a lot more often than you can get blackstone, because you're usually getting deep slate while you're mining for diamonds, or you're doing projects that take you down to bedrock level in the overworld. Also, while I'm down here, I have to say that I recorded about 5,000 words into a text document. I was going to write over the script for this 100 days. Then I realized, wow, I actually didn't even write anywhere close to the amount of words that I needed to write in order to continuously be talking the whole time. Also, in editing this, I added probably 1,000 little captions that pop up on the screen, such as the day counter that's about to appear right now. Day 80, more nether ore. Well, on this day we are still in the blackstone mining phase, but it's begun to expand to quartz as well. We're using efficiency 5, fortune 3 on this pickaxe, and while it's pretty damaged at the moment, the more quartz and gold ore we mine, the more it'll start to look better and better and almost be complete. Lava tries to get me while I'm in the middle of mining blackstone, but it's no match for me. My reflexes are like a cat, razor sharp and lightning fast. Well, not all the time, mostly just when I'm playing video games. I was obsessed with playing Dandy's World last year on Roblox. In fact, it's the whole reason I even started playing Roblox in the first place. But I've come to realize that I kind of don't really care for it as much as I did. I have sort of gotten everything I want out of the game. Maybe if there's a summer update, I'll go back to it. But I realize now that after getting like hundreds of skins and stickers and doing like hundreds of runs, maybe even thousands of runs at this point, and all I wanted was to be part of a community, you know, that focuses around cute cartoon characters. We've got a full shulker of blackstone, by the way. Some of the best times I've had is just interacting with the Pokemon community and the My Little Pony community. Day 81, Eternally Underground. I've been a fan of Pokemon since when I was about 7 years old, and I had it downloaded on my computer, and I played it all the time. Of course, I also had many of the various physical forms, like Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Red, Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Stadium 2, Pokemon Silver, Pokemon Gold, but it was a broken copy. I didn't have Pokemon Crystal, Pokemon Sapphire, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Red Rescue Team, Pokemon Pearl, Pokemon Diamond, Pokemon Black, Pokemon White, Pokemon White 2, Pokemon Black 2, Pokemon Y, Pokemon Ranger, Pokemon Omega Ruby, Pokemon Explorers of Darkness, Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Battle Revolution, Pokemon Coliseum, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, Pokemon Soul Silver, and that's just all the physical copies of games. Day 82, Confused Chicken. We are still in the underground here, but I feel like I'm tired of talking about Pokemon at this instant, especially with how disappointed I am at their recent attempts at a game like Pokemon Legends ZA. I haven't even purchased anything Pokemon since Scarlet and Violet, just because A, I haven't had the money, but B, I really do not want to support them. I forgot to mention I have Pokemon Shield, Pokemon Violet, and Pokemon Shining Pearl. The older Pokemon games mean so much to me because I was an adult by the time X and Y released. Anyways, this last day in the Nether is straight gas. I found so much debris. It's absolutely awesome. But gotta make our escape here. Like, all the lava is just closing in on us. I think to myself, why don't I just drink a fire res and swim through the lava? Makes more sense than trying to find our pathway back in this maze of netherrack. Seems we've flown too high and we've hit ourselves. Well, we hit our head again, but it's no matter because we have healing items. We also have way too much netherrack and other junk on us. So let's condense it down a bit and let's get some of the glowstone here. We're in a low ceiling place, so we can get glowstone very easily. There's a piglin jockey in the background, if you can see. And we're gonna get some more glowstone. A lot more glowstone. I like the look of glowstone. Might turn into glowstone lamps. The chicken jockey died in the background. There's a spare chicken jockey running around. I was very confused until I saw this in editing. We were fighting our way through mobs in this crimson forest when I accidentally jumped down and break my spine and stub my toe. And that is a big ouchie. I just decided to run away from that. And I decided to chop a gas in my anger, making it cry. Pick up its tears and I just fly away. Okay, so we're past a bastion, under a nether wastes, near a fortress, and you know, let's just get ourselves a little bit more glowstone while we're here. Alright, crash into that, look around for anything that looks like the portal, and this looks like the line that we dug out at day 20. Day 83, trades and roof access. First things first, we gotta offload our 2 double chests worth of netherrack. We'll take out some of this glass and we'll smelt up our debris. Because can't get netherite gear without smelting up those debris. Alright, we'll trade some of these glass panes that we got and get ourselves a little bit more profits. Very nice. Wait for him to refresh as well. Really shouldn't have turned all of my glass into panes. That's kind of a misstep, but whatever. Make some more chests, store some more of our netherrack, and take the rest of our nether stuff out. Store it in the nether chest. Store these golds in our valuables chest. Take out our debris. Now that we've crafted more netherite ingots, we realize that we need more diamonds in order to upgrade more gear and tools. We'll store these black stones in this special chest in the meantime. As we're thinking about going to the nether roof, we are going to need our obsidian, a thing of ender pearls, some ladders, and flint and steel. So I dig around here because I'm trying to get some netherrack to pillar up, and then I come across the debris. That's very fortunate. Then I get self-conscious and think, I don't have enough ladders. So I get more ladders, and then I come back to the nether again. And then I start making a little line all the way up to, I think is the bedrock ceiling. And I start seeing some bedrock, and then I realize this isn't the top of the bedrock ceiling, but this is. I accidentally take a screenshot, and then I look at the coordinates. Pearl myself up here, pearl myself on this ladder, and I'm on the nether roof. Woohoo! Alright, celebration's over. It's time for us to make a portal to go home. And surprise, surprise, not really. It links up back to our original. Day 84, more pink wood. Well, we are going to use cherry wood planks in order to build a bubble column elevator up to Y level 128, because I'll connect the portal on the roof to a portal at Y128, and then the portal, which is near the base, will connect to the regular nether. This is mostly just stemming from I have seen a lot of Minecraft playthroughs using spruce wood in whatever they're building, so I am electing to use pretty much anything else besides spruce for building at this point. There's a part of me that is a sort of perfectionist about anything that I do. I feel like I have to be, perfect at what I do, because it's like, if not, why am I even bothering to do it? And another part of it is like, well, if I'm not seeing any success, Hang on, the leaves are disappearing in front of us. But if I'm not seeing any success, then it must mean that I'm not trying hard enough, right? Oh, it looks like there's an island shaped like a fish. I think I'll put a little face on him. He looks kind of like a sunfish. Of course, the more I look at about how things are successful in the world, I realize that it's never really about individual talent. It's really about marketability and connectivity. Day 85, complete nether roof elevator. Well, it's a big hint as to what we're going to do today. I think I'll use some polished blackstone to make our place on the top. But first, I've got to get a load of kelp. I'll even drown a bit trying to get it. If you don't know, if you place kelp inside of a water stream, it'll turn into a full water block. So we're going to go to the top of this pink pillar. We're going to take our bucket of water, and we're going to place it right inside. Do a high dive, and start placing some kelp up here. Now, we drown a little bit, but it's alright. Our lungs can heal from being full of water just by eating some food. I'll get some trapdoors so that I can block the flow of this water. I'll put it this way so I can enter the stream very easily. And it's working. Now to shadow the diorite from down below with our blackstone, we'll place down our portal, make it flush with the surrounding areas for easier access. We'll look at our tower. It's pretty good. We'll go to sleep. Day 86, potions and storage. Well, we should craft up some of this kelp into kelp blocks, or dried kelp. Dried kelp can then be crafted into kelp blocks. Craft some more netherite ingots. We'll do another harvest of our sugarcane. We already have a plenty large amount, but it's always good to harvest some more. In fact, it's so full, I think I'll be storing it in a separate chest from our plants. We're going to finish crafting some polished blackstone stairs and complete the entrance to our nether roof portal. Dive down again. Pretty nice. Get some more water bottles. We still are forgetting that we have extra water bottles. Craft up some more night vision potions. Craft up another hopper and brewing stand so we can craft potions twice as fast now. Craft up some more chests so we can have more shulkers so we can store more things when we go out. And I think I'll use red flower and dandelion to make orange dye. And I'll dye our second backup chest. Day 87, food supply and mega cave. We need to level up our farmer because a master farmer will sell us golden carrots. Apparently he's also selling us cakes. I didn't know farmers could do that. But we'll also take these cookies. So we'll throw our cakes and cookies into the food chest. We'll take a look at our mob farm. It's not looking good. We'll fly around. Initially I was trying to find another deep dark because I wanted to get the silence armor trim. But then I took a look at this cave and I thought, oh, that's kind of nice. And I saw there was diamonds at the bottom, so I went to investigate it. I saw there was a slime chunk. That's pretty nice. I got myself some slime balls. And I got this diamond, and I thought, let's just check around the cave, see if there's anything good here. And there's more diamonds. There's quite a bit of diamonds. There's some iron that I took. It's part of an iron vein over here. There's even the bean block. Yep, more iron. Well, we'll be able to craft up as many anvils as we want now. And honestly, this is such a good cave. There is so many resources. Everything besides emeralds and coal you can find down here. But of course, you don't really want emeralds or coal. You really just want diamonds and gold, iron, and lapis, and redstone. There's a bunch of mobs here. You gotta kill the mobs if you want to get anything good, though, because all the good stuff's right out in the open. We don't want to mess with the Enderman, though. He's just chilling, mind his own business. I feel like directly after 1.18, and they changed it so that reduced air exposure, you almost never found a lot of ores inside giant caves like this. I think they increased it gradually over the years, and so now it's a decent amount you find. And since this cave is utterly massive, we are just loading ourselves up. We already have a stack of diamonds. It's crazy. Of course, whenever we find ourselves in a hole, it seems that zombies will try to attack us. I guess they were just guarding the secret that all the diamonds were under the redstone. He's coming to take his diamonds back. Yeah, honestly, it's just so nice hitting diamond after diamond after diamond here. It's definitely nothing like old Minecraft though. Oh yeah, we gotta drink a second potion. Old Minecraft, you'd be lucky to find, you know, we're getting attacked inside this hole by zombies again. But yeah, you'd be lucky to find more than like 2 veins of diamond every 10 minutes or so in old Minecraft. There's so many darn zombies around here. My goodness. I don't want to say that like old Minecraft is better than new Minecraft. You know, they're their own games and they have their own feels. I think in some ways this newer Minecraft is the definitive version, but there is something that is tragically missing about the aesthetics of this game. You know, games like Mario or like Pokemon, they have such distinct visuals with like vibrant popping colors that highlight and accentuate each and every one of their characters. There appears to be a lava chapel in the background, and you compare the realism of franchises like Grand Theft Auto, Far Cry, and Assassin's Creed. I'm gonna style on this wandering trader real quick. There we go, found him. You know, the only way to make anything in those games stand out is through writing. You don't remember the characters because they're the same washed out colors as all the rest of them. There's a lot of mobs that just appeared, but we're ignoring them to take a look at this really round cube. Day 88, Mega Cave continues. Of course, there's still a lot of ores in here. We're gonna continue mining this stuff out, baby. There's diamonds right in the side of this giant round cube. Another creeper is no problem. Except for that one's a problem. We're not gonna have any redstone troubles after this. There's even some more iron. Gotta put our stuff away though. It's getting too full. Some diamonds, but behind the diamonds there's a trial ruins. Nice. I didn't even have to buy a map to this place. You know, I take a quick look inside the tough bricks and then I think, I'll come back to it another day. Still diamonds to collect after all. After clearing out these ores up top here, we head down and we find there's a ton of creepers. That's perfect. We need a lot of gunpowder. You know, we're taking these mobs out one by one by one by one. Now isn't that cool, kid? It's starting to look like a slasher movie with how many John Does I'm killing. Estimates on the death count, I'd guessed 666. Doing tricks off their foreheads like nollies. Alright, that's enough Forsaken jokes for now. Let's throw out some of this trash. Now let's watch creepers blow up an entire family of zombies. Bam. And bam. I've started fighting mobs for so long that my vision goes dark. It's crazy. Good thing that we can just chug a potion and see again. I feel like people don't talk about how good 2025 was for Roblox. They had Dandy's World, they had Grow Garden, they had Dead Rails, they had 99 Nights in the Forest, they had Steal a Brain Rot, and while, yeah, I mean, some of those games are not the best, they brought in huge numbers. That's crazy. Yeah, but this cave is so loaded with diamonds. I was just trying to return to the original part of the cave, and guess what? I found even more diamonds. I've been having thoughts about if I continued this 100 days, I could either go the animals route or I could go the farms route. And I'm really thinking the farms route, but I could also just go the animals route, where I focus the next 100 days on either making a whole bunch of farms or gathering a whole bunch of animals. You know, because it's still an achievement to breed all the animals tame all the cats and all the wolves, as well as defeat one of every hostile mob. But then there's a lot of hostile mobs you can trap. Hang on, my night vision ran out. There we go. There's a dancing creeper. He decides to explode. I cut so much footage of me being lost here. Alright, there's a lava fall. Block that off. There's some diamonds here. Nice. They fell in the lava. No! I'm not actually that upset. I was just doing a bit of acting. But you want to see something cool though? Thumbnail screenshot in 3, 2, 1. Nice. I love that screenshot, actually. Day 89, counting treasure. Yep, that's right. Our caving is going to come to an end, but not before we explode. A replica of the Kakovka Dam. Alright, time to get some lapis. And some more diamonds up here. Alright, let's get out of the water. Fly around here. Let's see if we can find anything else. Yep, there's some more diamonds on that round cube looking thing. And, hold on, is that Cobson over there? What the heck? Time to head back home after our 3-day cave rave. See our tower in the distance that marks our base. Now all we've got to do is throw down all our shulker boxes and tally up our loot totals. I'd ask anyone if they would want to make a prediction, but I have a feeling nobody would, so I won't ask. Anyways, we have 3 1/4 stacks of diamonds and 4 stacks of iron. We'll take all this dried kelp out, craft it into kelp blocks, and we'll use some more coal to smelt all of our ores that we've got. Now that we have the money, we can make ourselves a ton of smithing templates. Let's upgrade. Serious dedication. Yes, that's me, alright. And throw all these mob traps onto a chest as well. These bows, the leads, the tough blocks into this chest. Oh man, every chest is getting so full. We gotta craft ourselves some more night vision potions too. Just put some more of these in the top and tuck in for the night. Day 90, chopping and trading. First things first, we gotta put our shulkers back in our inventory. We'll fly to the top of a tree and we'll chop it from the top down. And then next we will chop this one from the bottom up. And I found that both of these methods result in around the same amount of time to chop the tree. In fact, this one might be a bit faster, but only because I'm so used to doing it at this point that I can do it with basically 0 losses. I feel like an underestimated part of Minecraft is the form. You know, people talk about like palettes in terms of their building, and they're like, oh, I want a nice palette that is like red or white or gray, and then it has like dark parts on the bottom and light parts on the top. But they're never like, oh, I've got this elaborate structure and it's got like overhangs and it's got like, you know, statues over here. We managed to chop the tree in 54 seconds, and I think that's pretty good. And even when people do build like overhangs and they build like spires, they build them out of these like tiny little blocks where you can't even see them very well if you get far away from the whole build. It's like, why are you building such tiny buildings? You have all of the infinite amount of blocks in the game, and you are building a little house that is barely 8 blocks tall. I mean, I know it's better for like content or whatever for you to make a house in like an hour or so and then just edit it down for content. But at the same time, I don't think it's really impressive at all. It kind of looks like... And the worst part is that they always convince themselves like, oh, this is the best thing ever. Oh, this is so lovely. I'm in love with this. It's like, no, they aren't. This is just trash. If you wanted a good-looking house, you would not be playing Minecraft. You know, because the best things in Minecraft are always on the largest scales possible. Well, now we've got a good amount of golden carrots, I think. I was gonna fly off into the desert, but then I realized, I should probably get some more rockets beforehand. Put those in my backup chest. Fly past Jerusalem over there, and there's a ruined portal. Day 91, exploring in amber. Well, first things first, we want to get these golds around here. Every ore block we get is a step closer to getting a beacon. Then I'll fly over these badlands. I'll see some anti-gravity blocks. And then there's a wooded badlands up here. I'll press F3 with hitboxes on to see if I can find any hitboxes roaming around of wolves or other things. I have some of these spotted wolves in my survival world. And I like them, they're really nice. I go to explore the other wooded badlands around here, but no dice. And then I go back to the first one, because it's really big. And then I just decide, I'll give up. Let's get some pufferfish instead. We're gonna need some pufferfish if we want to make water-breathing potions, and if we want to tame nautiluses. I'll even capture one in a bucket. Mark down the location of this coral reef. Pass by 2 beady eyes in this cave. Well, I'll get this coal at least. Some water rushing out. Some more coal. We're passing by the Badlands and Desert, going on to a birch forest to get another beehive. Then we head over a dark oak forest and land ourselves in a pale oak garden by the end of the night. We're gonna stay here so that we can get some amber. Honestly though, the creaking is less scary than any of the other mobs they have in here. Besides maybe the spider. Spiders aren't that scary at all. Get ourselves some open eye blossoms. I think they look cool, but I haven't used them in any builds yet. I wasn't as mad when they made the pale oak gardens, because at least they put like a different mob in here, you know. It wasn't just straight a different wood type as an update. Also, I'm finding a lot of mobs, but no creaking. Oh, hang on. I think I hear something. Ah, there he is. Hang on. His heart's not supposed to be in a dark oak. Oh, okay, it's behind him. I'll just slap this guy about 100 times with my sharpness 5 sword. I haven't figured out the mechanics to this yet, so that's why I'm just hitting him willy-nilly. It seems to be working good enough, though. I really should have, raised the platforms around here so it wasn't jumping up and down everywhere. I do like that the creaking is sort of a counterpart to the Enderman. He's the opposite. The Enderman hates if you look at him, and the creaking will only stop if you look at him. It'd be kind of funny to see the two of them just stuck in a room fighting each other. Well, the sun's coming up, and I think I've got a stack of amber at the moment. I think I'll mine this creaking heart with the silk touch axe. I'll have him die. I need him to die for the mob slaying achievement. Advancement. Day 92, more chopping. Well, we try to find ourselves a trail ruins over here. We are not successful though. We find a lot of cool looking mountains in places. I sort my inventory a bit. I think to myself, I could probably find another creaking heart if I just destroy some of these trees over here, and I do not find another creaking heart, which is sad because I kind of wanted to set up a little farm in order to farm some amber. I don't know how many creaking hearts you need for a farm though. You probably only need one, but it probably works better if you have multiple. When I play hardcore on my other worlds, I usually don't go for wood this hard. There's some pumpkins here as well. I'll take these. There's a old growth birch forest that has a chance of having archaeology sites in them. Pass by some wolves. I pass by this hill which is snowy for some reason. There's a savanna thing. There is a mangrove swamp. You know, that's screenshot worthy. I want to see where that is. Pass by Sand Mountain over there. Over this giant coral reef ocean. Turns out they're not very rare. Pass by this desert village and this cool looking landform over here, and then another desert village. Bonk into the side of the wooded badlands, and I'll get out some more rockets and golden carrots as well. I look over at the giant wooded badlands I was at before, and I thought that if I chopped all these trees down, more wolves had a chance to spawn, and by the time I chopped all these trees down, well, then a wolf would probably have naturally spawned anyways. So Here's me spending the next 50 minutes of my life just chopping down tree after tree after tree. I don't even need to sleep through the nights at this point. I only need to chop more trees, you know. Mobs, they're a small distraction, and they'll take about, 30 seconds off of my night total, but it's not a lot. I'm so focused that I only barely remember to put my armor chestplate back on. It's interesting to think about that for the longest time, all the trees in Minecraft sort of looked like these trees here, with maybe some slight variations on the height for birch and spruce. I feel it's interesting how much Kung Fu has sort of fallen out of popular culture. I feel like growing up, there used to be like people who always went to like Kung Fu places, and there were people like saying they knew karate, and they said that like, oh, this small Asian guy could like take down this huge guy because he knows, like pressure points and like a technique that was passed down. And maybe it was true, and maybe it was exaggerated a little bit, but I feel like the Asians of today really don't practice Kung Fu or karate or any sort of martial arts anymore. Day 93, Badland Shopping 2. Well, now that it's daytime, it should be a lot easier to get through a lot of these logs without any mobs interrupting us. I wanted to get a dog by day 100, but I don't know. Let's look over our land. There's no dogs here. There's just the hitboxes of a lot of leaves and saplings. Well, they don't call it the rarest dog in Minecraft for nothing. Can't make anything made a short on it. Apparently, people make huge dirt platforms over wooded badlands in order to get some of these wolves to spawn. And, that might have actually been slightly easier than what I'm doing. But I don't have infinite dirt, and this also gives me a lot of wood, so I don't really mind. We've completely filled up that shulker box, by the way. Let's look over our progress again. Yep, there's no wolves. Alright, we're gonna land back to chopping. The more time I spend editing this, the more time I realized, actually showing me chopping the first log in every tree is kind of boring. So then I speed it up, and now it's kind of at a blinding speed. It's really hard to, like, see or make anything out of this. But, I mean, whatever, sunk cost fallacy and whatnot. I'd say probably about 12% of all the cuts in this video was just me chopping down these logs. Of course, they're very easy cuts to make because they have a visual cue of the sound of a block being broken. Whereas other cuts, like to the opening of a new day, it doesn't exactly have an audio indicator, like so. Day 94, De-Wooded Badlands. Well, it's the last day we're spending in the Badlands, and we're going to make sure that we get every little last tree out of here so we can get the best odds of spawning a spotted wolf. At this point, I'm sort of thinking to myself, well, I don't have enough time to get a silence armor trim, and I don't have enough time to get the materials for a beacon. So what can I do for the rest of the 100 days? And I think to myself, well, I have chopped so many trees, why don't I just make a giant statue out of wood? Yep. There's no wolves on this terrain. There's a lot less trees, and it looks actually kind of weird without trees, I'll tell you. Yeah, there's some of them that I missed. Yeah, and then I thought to myself, well, I'm going to need a place to put this giant wooden thing that I'm gonna make. Screenshot this real quick, go back home. Day 95, Sorton/Island outline. Well, we woke up getting attacked by a baby zombie, but we took care of him. Now we're off to tally our wood counts. 22 stacks of oak logs, 2.5 stacks of pale oak logs. I'm going to sort our inventory a bit. We shouldn't really have crafting stations inside the log chest, and we'll move the dyes and the armor trims to their own chests. Wanted to see which block looked better, resin bricks or resin clumps. And in the process, I've built a crucifix, but I think resin bricks look better. Apparently, according to all the builders online, they think resin blocks and resin bricks look absolutely disgusting, and I just don't understand that because it's such a nice shade of orange. Anyways, we go a little bit ways away from our island and we start placing down a lot of the extra dirt that we have in our inventory. I think we're going to make a little island outline here, and eventually we're going to fill this in with more dirt. And I think this will be the perfect place to put our wood statues on. Yeah, in fact, I'm going to call this Shrine Island. You know, this took me 70 hours of editing, and there is a shrine on Shrine Island. Thank you, Skitty Bitty. Anyways, this would not be possible without the use of Depth Strider boots. I find it so interesting that in Luke the Notable's 100 Days video, his goal was simply to survive for 100 days. And that's why he took it so slow and casual. But his slow and casual pace also made for a very interesting video, because it also made a lot of other people realize that they can play Minecraft slow and casual as well. And while I do like playing slow and casually, it's only like with like friends or other people I would like to do that. If I'm by myself, of course I'm going to want to play the most efficiently and the fastest that I possibly can. Anyways, I think we've run out of dirt, and so we'll just kill this creep who's been lying in wait the whole time. Day 96, Shrine Island building. It's crazy to think that all of this dirt came from that small part of the hill that extends off of our beach. And there we have it, Shrine Island is complete. Now we just need to put something on it. And well, initially I was thinking, I could build a statue of Jesus, I could build a statue of me. Then I thought to myself, I should just build a statue of Luke the Notable, because he inspired me to do this after all. The dimensions of a Minecraft skin are 4x4x12 for each leg, 4x4x12 for each arm, 8x4x12 for each torso, and 8x8x8 for each head. It's kind of a lot of blocks, and that's why I'm using planks instead of logs. There's something satisfying about building a really large structure and repeating a lot of things over and over. Like, it hinges on that sort of barely, conscious level of activity where your mind can just wander while you're doing it. It's like a low intensity exercise for your brain, like walking. Well, anyways, there are the last blocks of this character now. And it's missing a face. I've got to go back and decide what kind of blocks I'm going to use for the color palette of the face. And after thinking about it, I think dark oak would work really well here. Oh, there's the mega cave. Oh, and here's a giant mountain valley, and it's next to an abandoned village. I'll take a screenshot of that. Unfortunately, it's not dark oak. There's a giant ravine there as well. Some spruce trees over this corner. We'll touch down, get some more rockets out of our shulkers. By this ruined portal turned day 97. Dark oak troubles. Well, we are having trouble finding our dark oak, that's for sure. And we're not having any trouble getting this gold. Fly off into this cold biome. I haven't explored this cold biome before. Here's a frozen river. Here's a frozen ocean. And here's a deep frozen ocean. Alright. We start to freeze our wings off in this blizzard. Pass over this frozen village. And over some snowy taigas. Well, there's a ocean monument, I'll mark that, and right next to it, it's going to be an mushroom island. Well, I'll take some of these myceliums while I'm here. I decided to take out my aggression on a couple of pigs here. Just a few of them. We got ourselves a lot of bacon from this. Then I go back home and I think to myself, wait, I already have a screenshot of where the woodland mansion is, so I'll just fly to it on the nether roof, make a portal, and light it. Bam, subspace bubble. That's not what we're here for. We're here for some of this nice dark oak logs. I was thinking about waiting to collect some saplings, but I don't really have the time for that, so I'll just fly back onto the nether roof, jump down here, and start putting in the details for the face. Then I realize, whoops, I made it a little too high. Now I gotta take it down and redo everything. Thankfully it's all made of wood, besides the eyes. I made those out of quartz. I'll put the eyebrows in, and I'll put the last part of the head in, and hey, that looks like him. I'll clear up my inventory, take some cherry wood out, go to sleep. Just kidding. I'll actually go to the end and repair my elytra and tools. Our piglin around our end portal decides he wants to go to the end. Well, not today. As we go to the XP farm, day 98, repair and cherry statue. Well, we're soul trapping the Enderman to repair our tools. It sounds so much sinister when you say it like that, but it really is just what you're doing. Soul trapping, I mean. Well, everything seems to be basically repaired. Yep, this one as well, and this one. And let's go back to the overworld and get immediately attacked by a zombie. And we'll throw out all these ender pearls, put our totem back on our offhand. When we're gonna fly back to the cherry biome where there's a lot of leaves that are disappearing. We need some of this wood though, not the leaves. Because for some reason I decided, oh wow, a cherry wood would look so good representing my avatar, and then I totally forgot birchwood existed for a moment. This is completely my fault. But then I am 6.5 hours into a 7-hour recording session, and my mind has gone a little bit soft. Well, I think that's enough wood. Now time to angle out where we're going to put this. I think here's a good measure. We're a couple of blocks away, so we're not touching the other statue. That would be kind of weird. I decided to just build up half of it at a time. And it's starting to turn dark as I finish building up all the way here for the legs. And as I connect over for the arms, I realize, uh-oh, I've made this 1 block too wide. Jeez. Gotta redo it all. Well, really just one wall of it, but it's making me want to crumble down into a little ball because the time pressure is so sensitive here. I keep myself calm by saying I've already built one statue, and I think that's good for any 100 days playthrough. Luckily, there's no mobs trying to attack us in the middle of the night, and the rest of it goes off without a hitch. Just the constant pitter-patter of me placing down these blocks. Ooh, actually, you see that? This is some goated tech over here. I'm realizing now how much this doesn't really fit with my Minecraft skin, which is a shiny Sylveon, which is white with blue accents. But whatever, I'll keep building this. Because it's already day 99, final statue touches. You can tell the nerves are getting to me because I fall off right here. Luckily I have my elytra. I finished building the top of the head and I realized, oh, wait a second, it's too low. Fall down again. Yeah, from this angle you can really tell it. Well, time to just delete about 30 blocks here or so. Alright, and once we get this all sorted out, we can start to look at our face. Yep, it's a face alright. I made this about 5 years ago and I spent 10 minutes on it. And now it's going to be my permanent Minecraft face. I get attacked by the 3 musketeers in the nether. I chop down some of this red wood called Crimson Steel Edge. No, it's just called Crimson Stems. We take the 2-minute journey to the Basalt Delta. Then while we're here, we take a right, go to this warped forest over here. In hindsight, there was probably a much closer location, but I didn't write it down, so I'm using this one. I get slapped by a magma cube as I exit the Basalt Delta. I get hit again, but this time because I ran into a wall. I think we're in a Wendy's training video because we've clearly reached the line. Time to head back, and we're gonna stuff all of our extra things into random chests. We're not even gonna sort them at this time because we are pushing a tight schedule. And it's raining pretty hard. Take a look at our face again for reference. Yep, we'll need some of these blue woods right here for the hairline. Use some of these cherry leaves as scaffolding as we carve out a space for the eyes. We'll use some of these redwoods for this. As for the mouth, I think I will use the full logs. I'll add the bit of blush on the sides of the cheeks here. We'll remove the scaffolding. Break our knees one more time and fly off to look at our work from our non-functioning mob block that we fell off the side of. And there it is, day 100. Let's get a closer look at these statues. Not bad, not bad. At least from the front, anyways. That's the end of 100 days. Thanks for making it to the end. Hope you enjoyed watching, and until I see you again, I hope you all have good luck.